This is a chicken, and we're going to roast it so that it's crispy on the outside, tender and juicy and flavorful on the inside. Couple of very simple steps to make sure that your chicken skin is beautifully brown, beautifully crispy, but you don't dry out the inside, which is the whole point here. Take a look at your chicken. Look for any excess fat. We have a little here, and quite simple, just cut it out. Couple of things I like to do is to get rid of these knuckles here. These knuckles on the end of the feet. Knuckles on the end of the feet? They're probably ankles. Let's get rid of them. They kind of slow down the cooking and just make things complicated. So we're just going to push down quite easily through there and take that out. And then we'll do the second one. If you're squeamish, look away. I'll tell you when to look back. You can look back now. Same thing with the tips of the wings. The tips of the wings tend to burn when they're in the oven. You can cover them or you can not worry about it. I like to just get rid of them so we don't have to worry. There goes the first one, and here goes the second one. And there we have it. Our bird is looking pretty good now. Step number 2, let's dry our chicken. The drier the skin is, the crisper it will be, and you cannot skimp this. You have to dry, pat it dry, take care of every nook, every cranny. A good amount of paper towel, and we're gonna go all over, all in the different little recesses here, and make sure we're picking up a lot of the moisture. It reminds me of Uncle Derek on vacation in Blackpool on the beach.
Except for the chicken's a little more tan.
Yes. Okay, now we have a pretty dry chicken. And next, we're going to kind of dry brine this. Dry brining is simply putting lots of salt in the cavity on the outside of the bird. And then we're going to put this into the fridge and leave it in the fridge, brined with salt for at least an hour. If you want to go 3 hours, 4 hours, that's fine. Not too much longer than that, I think. What it will do is dry the skin out even further and really help the crisping process. If you like crispy skin, as you should, this is the way to do it every time. So we're going to take our salt and first of all, let's go inside the cavity. Not us, the salt. Lots of salt in there. Lots of salt on the outside. Don't forget there are 2 sides. Freshly ground black pepper. That's about it for now. As this sits in the fridge, the salt will draw out moisture. So we'll just transfer this now. I'm going to roast this in my cast iron skillet. I like the way that the cast iron skillet maintains the heat, crisps up the bottom, but there's a couple more tricks to come that really will make this the perfect roast chicken every single time. Stay tuned. In the meantime, we're putting this in the fridge for about an hour. After an hour, we took the chicken out of the fridge and then let it come up to room temperature. Now, if we take a closer look at this chicken, you can see that the skin has tightened up somewhat and some of the wrinkles have gone away. So I'll be sitting in the fridge for an hour later and see if the same thing happens to me. Smash your garlic. Bring this down, make it a little easier, and give it a good old rub to make sure that all that garlic taste gets in there. I'm just doing it on the top. You can do it underneath if you want to. And the garlic then I put into the cavity because it will flavor the bird as it cooks. There oil the bird. I'm not a fan of olive oil because of the low flash point. I use peanut oil, which works really well. Don't use butter, too much moisture in there, it won't crisp the skin. If you wait for the skin to crisp, you're gonna have a dry bird. It's just the way it works. So we'll take some of this peanut oil, drizzle it over the chicken, and then just make sure that it's nicely coated there. And I am going to do the underneath as well, because there's another trick coming to make the perfect crispy bird. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start roasting the bird like this, breast up. This is going to take about an hour and 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna do half an hour breast up, turn it to breast down for half an hour, 30 minutes, and at that time, the juices are going to run from underneath the bird, which is now the top, into the breast to keep them moist. After that, which is 1 hour, turn it back again to crisp up finally on the top. And once it's looking good, hour 10, 15, 20, depending on your oven, we'll be good to go. 400 degrees is set. We're ready. Let's do 30 minutes this side up. But I just forgot something, didn't I? So let's just step back in time about 2 minutes and sprinkle a little thyme over the chicken. And now we're ready to go. It's been about 30 minutes. Let's see how we're doing. So we're just going to turn it, starting to crisp on the top, which is exactly what we want. And now we'll simply flip it. Back into the oven for another 30 minutes. And another 30 minutes later, we're ready to turn again and go breast side up. It's all looking really good. Here it is. Oh my goodness, she looks beautiful. Another most important thing to remember when you've cooked protein, when you've cooked meat, fish, any protein, it has to rest. This should rest for at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes is good. We take it out of the pan so that there's no heat transfer and leave it right here, resting. We'll see you back here when we carve the chicken. Here it is, been resting for at least 20 minutes. Everything's equalized, still nice and warm and ready to carve. I haven't carved a chicken like this in quite some time. I usually get a piece of bread under it, piece of bread over it, and eat it. But we're gonna try today, see if I can remember how to carve a chicken. As I recall, the first thing is to take the legs out, and we go right in the joint. Let me turn this around here so we can see. Right in the joint and right down until you meet resistance and just break it free. And there's your first piece of beautiful chicken. We're gonna do the same on this side, straight down the joint until we meet resistance and pull it clear. And then we have two beautiful leg pieces. Next is the breast. Feel for the keel, feel for the keel, feel for the keel bone, and that is really the breastbone, and just try to go just to either side and start gently cutting down. I did not remove the wishbone on this one, so I'm gonna have to go along with the wishbone, which is fine. You can remove it before you cook these if you want to. And again, once you meet resistance, it's fine to just pull these apart. But there is a beautiful breast with the wing still attached. We'll do the same on this side. Look for the keel bone and just go to the side of the keel bone, down to the wishbone, and we should be good. You're always gonna leave some meat on the bone. That's fine. That's called the chef's treat. This piece here, which I think is the chicken's bum. In England, when I was growing up, we called this the Parsons nose because of the shape of it, and it's particularly tasty. Underneath the bird, you have an area here, which I'll show you, which we refer to as the oyster. It comes out of a little area there, which is like a protective pocket, and those are beautiful. So those are worth keeping. Let's put this on our serving platter here so that we have all of the different pieces. I'm leaving the wings attached to the breast. I like it that way. You can pull them off. Parsons nose will go there. Maybe we'll strip some of this meat and put it around, and then I will bring this serving platter up to show you what we have. It's a little messy after you've taken care of this bird. This is incredibly juicy, incredibly tasty, beautiful crispy skin. It is perfect every time. Just follow the steps. They're worth doing. It's worth the time and effort to make a perfect chicken. I'm gonna take a breast here because the breast is the most difficult to cook and keep it juicy and flavorful, not dried out. And I believe we've done the job here. And we'll cut a piece. I like to get some of the skin, the crispy skin that's so flavorful. And let's just give this a try. See what we think, see how we did. Is it moist? Is it tasty? Is it a good chicken? Worthy of a good chicken dinner? I think so. I don't know if you can see on the camera how juicy this is, but truly, this is juicy, flavorful chicken. You are always welcome here in the kitchen. If you liked the video, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that bell, and be sure to come back and see us next time.